Okay.
And that was actually going pretty good. Then I hit the ceiling in Vegas. When the radio ain't playing your music, then you hit that ceiling. So like, all right, now we did hella shows. Now what?
What you heard? Yeah. What you heard? What you heard? You can hear a motherfucking thing.
Hey, yo, what's up, people? It's your boy Tizzle from Pod Talk by Tizzle. I'm here with Twixx.
What it do?
And Skinny, of course.
Yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment to the channel, man. Also, if you have any music, make sure you send it to the Gmail, code7@gmail.com, KODESE number 7EN.
Yes, sir, man. This is a special edition, man. This is Game for Lames, man. I know y'all hear me say it every show, but this is the actual show, Game for Lames, and we got the brother Twixx. Nice to meet you.
Man.
Well,
We know,
yeah, you feel what I'm saying? I ain't seen you in a while.
My brother.
For real.
Twixx been like a, I don't know, mentor low-key since forever. You know what I'm saying? I met Twixx long time ago.
Always spoke highly of you too.
You know, always your barbershop, that first barbershop in the North was legendary.
It was a movie that it was like a movie.
It was though.
Listen, I tell everybody,
fashion
like,
show, all that. Before
car
that shit
show,
got big.
car show.
Yeah. Now everything is. That
Yeah.
barbershop was like, people don't realize how much barbershops and stuff are involved with hip hop.
Man,
and
You feel me?
that's it.
Like
It's like barbershops and strip clubs.
Yeah.
Listen.
Everything is right there.
It's right there. Like, you go there, if you from Vegas, y'all know this, man. You
gotta
can
know.
go to that old shop and you could buy your CDs, your DVDs,
Yep.
you have a CD
PlayStation.
man outside.
All that.
Somebody coming in selling you shirts,
Something.
incense.
Yeah.
Anything.
And
man.
Twixx was one of the only owners that didn't turn them away.
Nope.
That wasn't like, hey, y'all get up out of here.
Let you play your
You know
music,
what
all
I'm
that
saying?
shit.
You let them do their shit.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
definitely.
saying? So respect to that, brother. So we glad to finally have you up in here.
I appreciate that. I
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
that.
Thanks for coming. We definitely respect that.
So I had to come here because one, what y'all doing is dope and it's needed.
Thanks,
Yeah.
I appreciate
You know what
that.
I'm saying? And like this is so needed in general. And I love how I'm watching the shows you guys doing when it's putting the artists onto other crowds and people are commenting.
Right.
That's dope. So y'all really putting on for Vegas how it's supposed to be done. So congratulations to y'all. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, bro.
That's why I'm
Definitely
here.
appreciate it.
There's something we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit already.
Yeah.
That when it comes to radio stations.
Yeah.
I had to come here to talk. Listen, I'll be going when I talk, so I'll put a few things down for notes
Yeah.
so I won't forget nothing, right?
Right.
But let me explain to y'all the importance of local artists getting played on radio stations. Las Vegas is the only major city I know where it's not playing local artists.
Yeah.
Fact.
That is ridiculous.
And we talk about that a lot on this show, y'all.
You know
Listen
what I mean?
up.
It's been an
Listen
argument a
up,
lot.
man. For real.
That's why even you reaching out to me and saying that, I'm like, you know, because we've been trying to have this conversation, but we need the right people to have the conversation.
Facts.
Right.
You're the first person that even spoke to me about the music industry.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? As a whole.
Right.
Yeah, for real. And anybody in the city know Twixx been an entertainer. Dude,
Facts.
been on that, whether it was stepping or whatever, you know what I mean? Been an entertainer, been knowing how to draw a big crowd, so it's good to have that conversation with you.
Promoter.
Because the city, when they see you, they gonna see it like a Diddy type shit. Like, this dude was already doing all that stuff, you feel me? So we can't have it with somebody who hasn't even been through it themselves.
Gotcha.
So we definitely needed this
And
conversation.
my thoughts with you being a promoter. When you was a promoter, you was a big promoter in the city. My thing with promoters now, one reason why I started the show was promoters want the bucks more so than they want to show love to the local. You at the Ice House,
Yes, sir.
popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
You brought local artists in there.
All the time.
You didn't say, hey, it's gonna cost y'all such and such amount of
Never
dollars.
charged an artist in my life.
that's crazy.
Listen,
Never charged an
Y'all don't
artist.
understand that, man. Y'all don't understand how real that is because people don't even get it. It's people out there that really just help and really got love for the city. You feel me? And they never focus on that.
And this how it should be. All right, so I know a lot of promoters do that. They do the whole pay to play situation, right?
Right.
And you know what I mean? That's not my thing. But I say it like this: if you're a promoter and you're going to do that, don't do it to where you charge for a person to perform. Do it to where it's a partnership. Then, okay, you got a movement. All right, this venue's costing me $10,000. You put in $2,000, you get 20%, and you perform.
Yeah.
right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the business structure of it. You know what I mean? The problem is, you know, I understand capitalism. You know what I mean? Life is all right for me. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But in the same token, it's going to sound cliche, but this is how I lived in my real life. My goal is to make smiles. you'll make money. You make $1 million smiles, you make $1 million.
Facts.
Do you,
Talk
you,
to
do,
him,
you see what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
So because of that, that's my whole objective, is to help and put things on. And that's why I'm so frustrated with radio stations not playing local music in Las Vegas. Let me break down the food chain of how this works and how it changes everything.
Let's go.
We so quick to say Black Lives Matter where Black music matters.
True.
Facts.
That's our lives.
You see what I'm saying? we quick to be out there and march for Black Lives Matter, but in the same token, we have radio stations playing R&B and hip hop, and they won't play black local artists.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's an oxymoron. That don't even make sense. You know what I mean? So let me break it down as a promoter. So let's just say you got a group called The Tables. I'm gonna get a table. You got a group called Tables, right? You like, Twixx, can I perform? Right?
Freestyle shit.
But hey, this is real game right here. This is real game right here. If you say, Twixx, can I perform? You want to perform, why? To get a bigger crowd, right? So let's just say, all right, I'm gonna let you and the Tables perform, right? At the party started at 10, around 12:30, 1 o'clock, y'all go on, right? After y'all perform, that was it though. The DJ ain't gonna keep playing your song because people don't know it, right? The crowd thought it was cool. You're gonna get a couple people follow you, but that's it. See, now let's take it back to the radio stations. If the radio stations were playing your song, right? Now, me as a promoter, I would go to you with the Tables and be like, hey man, how much y'all charge?
Right.
Yeah.
Then you tell me $5,000. Then I do my calculation like, okay, I'm getting 1,000 people. I was charging $20 a head, that's 20,000. But if you charge me 5,000, now I could charge $30 a head, and I can make this. I can make 30,000, 5,000 extra for him performing. Oh yeah, go ahead. Now I ain't paying you to perform.
Right.
And now, by me paying to perform, not only are people hearing you on the radio station, but now the crowd is seeing the people who are on the radio, which what? Makes them call into the radio station even more.
To request more.
And that makes what? That makes every DJ try to find your song and download it to play it at parties, because now your song is popping. Now you the song where everybody's doing this. You see what I'm saying? This is the effing flow when it comes to the radio station. So when the radio station don't play our music, that is what's stopping us.
Yeah, that repetitiveness. You
That-
gotta hear it over and over.
And that changes from you asking me to perform than me asking you to perform and pay you
Right.
as a promoter.
Facts.
And guess what? You know what it does for a radio station? Because like I said, smiles make money. If you in the table group, right, y'all blow up, guess what? The station could say, yeah, we helped them blow up.
Facts.
Listen to any major
They
radio
always
station, they
do
always
that.
go back.
They always
Man,
do
you
that.
played my music
100.
first. Now you got that camaraderie, you got that love from the Chris Browns, from everybody, because you the first one to break it. Jay-Z still close to everybody in New York who played his music first.
Facts.
So now when they do a show, you performing for free or on GP or some situation because they put you on.
Well,
and now the
everybody-
radio station gets bigger.
Facts.
And that's the effing flow to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't, like, I understand, you know, I'm a 3%er, right? Now y'all are not far from me in the age bracket, so 3%ers too. Only 3% of people our age are from Vegas. 97% aren't, right? You take somebody under 30, then it's like 10%. So we understand people moving to Vegas. That what made Vegas. We know that.
Yeah.
We know it's hella California out here. We know it's hella Chicago. It's hella Detroit. We know that, right?
Yeah.
And that's dope. But the thing is, even they should be upset they don't hear nobody from Vegas. When I go to other cities, I want to hear what's up in
too.
Texas.
I want to hear what
When I'm in Miami, I want to hear what's up in Miami. In Atlanta,
You're going to hear it.
You're going to hear it. I would hear songs in Atlanta a year and a half before it came to Vegas.
Yeah.
And they're playing on the radio constantly.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a problem. So then when you have people say, oh man, in Vegas, man, Vegas. So like I said, I put some stuff down. I got some things to say.
No,
you know what I'm
of
talking
course.
about. Edit it how you want to. I got
Problem.
some things to really say. 'Cause
Yeah.
these conversations right here, I'm saying all the time in the barbershop, and I'm breaking it down to everybody. You know what I mean? So when people say, oh man, Vegas, man, you know, there's too much hate in Vegas. Man, there's hate everywhere. And if you travel, you know that.
Facts.
If you travel, you know that. That's why you got to go out the city and do shows or just vacation. When I lived in Long Beach in 97, 98, right? That's like at the peak of death row,
Yeah.
right? I'm on Pine and 7th Street. I'm in Long Beach rapping against people every day. I'm literally in Long Beach. I'm rapping against somebody, they'll bring somebody else to me. Not smash them, somebody else, smash them, somebody else. But every time I beat somebody, they would always mention Crooked Eye.
Which was an animal.
Now listen, this is how cold the game is. So I knew from Crooked Eye from locals in Long Beach, right? At the time, I thought Corrupt was one of the dopest MCs, right? And I'm like, man, who's Crooked Eye? They're like, man, he the best. Like, he better than Corrupt? He better than Corrupt. So I'm like, why he ain't getting put on? If you go back and look at the, I think it's the Vibe magazine with Suge Knight, he has that interview in there to where he talks about how for years he kept hearing about Crooked I, but nobody would bring Crooked I to him because they didn't want Crooked I to go above them.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't talk about Vegas hate, man. It's hate everywhere. So it's hate everywhere. So when you're in Atlanta, you hear it's way more better local rappers than any city than the rappers you know from that city.
Yeah.
It's way more cats in St. Louis better than Nelly. It's way
Facts.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's about, certain people ain't putting people on. So Las Vegas stopped using that, and it's hate, man. It's hate everywhere.
Yeah. Facts.
Our problem is we gotta get played on radio stations. We quick to enforce, hey, I'm from this neighborhood, I'm from that, I'm from this, I'm from that. But ain't nobody enforcing the radio station. And nobody went down to the stations like, listen, we ain't going nowhere until y'all play our music. And call the news. Black Lives Matter, Black music matters.
And it's crazy for you to say that because I tell people all the time, like, Vegas is more of a pop city, right? Mm-hmm. We got the Magical Dragons and stuff like that that blew up on their radio station.
Yep.
With their people, and they're from Vegas.
Yeah. Yep.
They radio station showed them love at a time when they wasn't popping, and now they're huge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest artists in the world.
Right.
So with you saying that, and I just told somebody this today that's been hitting me up, about Code 7 because we get a lot of people hitting us now. I'm like, it's crazy that your name has been mentioned so many times, but when I ask people, can you send me their music? They never sent me your music, but they'll say, hey, you should listen to this person. You want me to do the research, but you telling me to listen to them, but you can't even. And you're supposed to be their friend.
You can't put in that effort.
Yeah.
You can't put in that extra effort, but you're supposed to be their friend.
That's all it is.
That's fake.
And that's where Vegas got to learn that, like bro said, that's what we've been talking about forever with the radio station. And that's why I've been pressing the internet radio. Because I've been telling them, okay, y'all internet radio,
you can do what you want to do.
More freedom. What you want to do.
Yeah.
You got more freedom.
Yeah.
Whose job is it to break the artist?
Right. The DJs, the label. I mean the radio station label. Yeah.
And that's why I say, if it's your job, why are you not pressing that?
Not even trying.
And if you are taking $1, you can take $1 from whoever, but they won't even be serious. I can give you $1, and I probably don't go record for the next 10 years or whatever. Right. That don't mean I'm serious about my music because I gave you a couple dollars to play my record. I probably never go record again.
Right. True.
I just had the money to give it to you at the time.
Right. To do it. Right.
And that's all it is.
So, totally agree with that.
Go ahead.
This is another reason why I'm pressing the issue of getting played on FM right now. Not long from now, we ain't gonna have no FM no more.
Yeah, true.
But FM is going internet.
But here's the thing: internet's not FM anymore.
True.
You know what I mean? The FM is analog. You know what I mean? Once it goes straight internet, it's digital. Norway in 2017 got rid of FM in general. If you're in Norway, you can't hear ain't no FM nothing. It's all internet. You got Britain going next, Switzerland, and Denmark after that.
Damn.
So it's going to get to a point to where there's no FM or AM.
Period.
You know what I mean? So at that, we in the 9th inning. So that's why another reason I'm having this, because we in the 9th inning of having that. Yeah. In a second, y'all ain't gonna be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So do what's right for the locals. You know what I mean? Like there's an email I sent to certain radio stations. Won't say the stations because it's not about that. Yeah. But y'all seen the email I showed y'all, right? In the email I mentioned, it should be at least at all times 3 local artists in rotation. It should be 3. It should be at least 1 hip hop, R&B, and whatever else you want to call the genre, or 2 hip hop, 2 R&B, 1 gospel. But it should be that. Y'all able to put like 15,000 songs into your thing in rotation. It's a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs that's whack that y'all putting from other cities and nobody even know of.
Y'all don't even like it.
Y'all don't even like it. But y'all won't do this. You know what I mean? So that's, like I said, it's an ebb and flow of the whole system. Once the radio station starts playing local music, it makes promoters in Las Vegas start paying the artists, and that's what blows them up. And once again, now to a point, you don't need to, gonna have people listening and say, "Oh, well, you don't need FM no more." True, you don't have to. You don't have to have that. But that's the end of it, though. This is the end. This is the last push.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
get in on it right now.
Right.
And even a lot of FM stations are, like you said, they're going digital. So they have an app or something to where you can listen to the station. You don't have to be in your car. You could be sitting in the house. Right. You could be putting it on your TV, wherever. You can listen to it anywhere now. So with everybody going digital, that's another reason to keep pressing to push it, because once they fully go digital, they already got the fan base.
Right.
That's gonna help you push.
Right.
These people, like, it's messed up that our stations, and it's been like this forever, even when you was rapping.
Yes.
Our stations want us to do all of the work, grab all of the fans, do everything, and then once you get popular, we'll play you.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. We got to go through all of that in other places.
And you know what's crazy with that though? Even when you, let's take Neo, that's the homie Shaver, take him. They're gonna play him like he's from Vegas. Yeah. They didn't even play 702 like 702 was from Vegas and named 702. When I was in California, when I was in Long Beach, I got more love from 702 from people. Oh, you from Vegas? You know 702? Yeah. No, you don't. Man, I'm to school with Lamisha and them. That's my homies. For real. Like, they blowing it up. The radio stations out there was playing Where My Girl's At more than Las Vegas was. Even that is crazy.
Even to say that, when you speak of Neo, them, J.R. Castro had a hit.
Yes. Yes.
And I rarely heard it here.
True.
Yeah. I went out of town and heard it like crazy.
Right.
I remember when he shot the video in the States.
Right.
And I was like, why is this not getting a push? Like, this is produced, mainstream production. Diddy is talking about him on Instagram.
Right.
I think he had, I forget who the feature artist was, but it was a major feature artist, and then he had a Timberland beat.
Right. That's what more? What
more do you need?
What more do you want from me? What more do you want from me?
It's supposed to be a go after all that.
It's supposed to be. Hitman just did a song with Boosie.
Boosie and you talking Babe Blue?
Babe Blue. No, Hitman produced it. It's Babe Blue and Boosie.
Yeah.
Why is that not playing on every station?
For real.
And it's a radio style song.
Why is it not playing on every station? That's
because our station is backwards.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Because
you know what I mean?
And
it's been a lot of features out here lately. Like, Vegas got a lot of features.
Yes.
We got a lot of artists that's working with local artists right now. So there's really no excuse.
And I be seeing them on YouTube blowing up now. I'm seeing views with millions. Let me tell you something. To me, this is the proudest being local Vegas cat to see the artist. Like, this is dope right now. Because you got so many people who was live. Like back in the day, you had about 3 or 5.
Yeah.
Who was really doing it and really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My city was at Odyssey on the wall. Mm-hmm. The only 2 groups was like Clicker 1, shout out to them, my homies, and LSD 1, BDK. You feel me?
Yeah.
So for a long time. So now you got so many artists out here who are dope.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's why I was just telling we went and had our interview with Hitman. I was like, you know, when I first came across you, you was producing for BDK.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I first came across you. I was like, I remember, and I talk about this all the time. I remember the Lil Bus song, right? Because I was in the barbershop.
Yeah.
We was in the barbershop. Y'all was going to the Ice House or whatever. You was like, I got this new song, and you played it, and everybody knew it. I think I was like freshly turning 21.
Yeah, you was. You was young.
I'm like, I gotta come to the Ice House. When I came to the Ice House, and I seen everybody knowing the song, I was like, why are we not on? Like,
that's crazy.
How am I at a venue and everybody is singing this song? Knows the song, doing the dance.
Right.
And the world don't know this. Like, it was crazy for the radio stations not to be playing it just in that time.
Right.
Because you did have something. Same as when Thirsty Them, when y'all had Bounce.
Oh, man.
Y'all had that track.
They had hella tracks.
You know what I'm
saying? Track.
It was so many. Like, and then so going right now, we listen to so many people. We just reacted to Jazz Laser song.
Yeah,
he dope.
People don't even recognize. People don't even. We didn't do the reaction to him, and people ain't even recognizing.
And he right.
And this dude is like really the dude.
He's really the dude.
I met people from other states. When I say I'm from Vegas, talk about him.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
He'd be the last
one. And he writes. He writes for major acts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He writes for major acts. He didn't wrote like Justin Bieber and some more. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. He didn't wrote for, and we got so many artists that have written for these artists, and you're playing their music, and their music is just as good, and you can't even.
And you ain't shouting
them in the slide.
They're not even saying like, oh, you not even, you know, such and such doing this thing, putting on for the city.
Right.
Even if you wrote it, hey, yo, you know, such and such from Vegas, man, he from down the way, he made this song.
It took him forever to even give Neo his credit. Like,
it took a long time.
Neo was writing for
ever. Right. The song you wrote for Mario, that was the #1 song of the year.
and it took forever for them to give him his credit.
That's the number one song of the year. Neo used to, for those who don't know, Neo used to rap. Did y'all know that?
I didn't
know that.
Oh, Neo was tight.
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade. He was in 6th grade. Shout out to his auntie Fanny, which is Tobacco and Fran's mama.
Okay.
Fanny used to manage us. There's a group called K-Fabs, Kids for a Better Society.
K-Fabs, Kids for a Better Society, started back in 1992. 1992, we had a group of kids, about 30 of them. They were like all of their friends and families and cousins and nieces and nephews, just straight up.
Me and Bonnie.
Me and Bonnie. And BKB was Neo, used to be when BKB writing all the songs and straight up.
What they did was they took kids from the hood who they thought might be going the wrong direction in life. But when I was young, I was trying to be stupid and gangbang and do other stuff, right? For those who didn't know that, I don't like bragging about nothing like that, you know, in a positive light. But we all go through our things, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was in that element, you know, in my life. And you know, somehow I heard about this meeting for it. I went to the meeting. To keep it totally saucy, I went to the meeting only because I saw Fanny's daughter. Shout out to the back. I can say it now. We all grown, girl. She married. But Tobacco was super hard. When I saw her, I wasn't at the time period. I wasn't with anything positive. I was young.
Right.
I wasn't trying to help the community. I was doing what I was doing.
Right.
I saw her daughter. I'm like, yo, she gonna be here? He's like, that's her daughter. I said, I'm in. Yeah. so because of that, I joined K-Fabs. And when I tell you, besides K-Fabs and me switching my life and turning to a Sigma Beta, those are the two things that changed my life.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? That's why it's very important to have some type of positive something around you. I have a mother and father. You know what I mean? But still, when you with your homies and they doing other things, you doing it too.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, when I got in K-Fabs, Neo had a group called Bad Kids Bad. Bad Kids, BKB. Bad Kids Bad. My group's called Straight Up. It was me and Giovanni and Neo and 3 of his cousins.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Neo, Vegas native. Salute my folks over here, man. History, y'all don't even know. History. Real talk, man. Way back in the day.
Neo, matter of fact, shout out to Andre Mitchell. He's one of them in BKB.
Yep.
Neo Shamir used to write for all of them. So he was dope to me because he's in 6th grade writing all their verses. Me and Vonnie wrote our own verses. I started rapping in 2nd grade, so I'd been writing. But me seeing this kid 2 years younger than me, I'm like, dang, he's writing for the whole group. Yeah. So Neo didn't start singing until his senior year in high school.
Oh, wow.
Neo always rapped and was a real performer. You know what I'm saying? Neo could flip and break dance and all that. You know what I mean? But the labels were smart when they put Neo out. They're like, you know what? Chris Brown's already out. Chris Brown's already a singer-dancer. So we need to have him, Neo the Gentleman. That's why the hat and the tie situation, because the Neo would have came out flipping, it would have been him versus him. They were smart. We're gonna put Neo on the Gentleman platform. Yeah, and it worked real good. So a lot of people don't know the background of Neo and marketing. You know what I mean? Important. His sister Nikki, Neo's sister Nikki, his little sister Nikki, she was like a young. It's gonna sound a lot, but I'm dead serious. She's like a young Whitney Houston. Wow. She could blow. She was the singer. So if anybody say Neo's sister could sing, yeah, she could really sing. You know what I mean? So their whole family did. And what Fran did was we would pull up. We did every neighborhood except the Gerson. And maybe the Gerson I wasn't there, but almost every neighborhood in Las Vegas. Miss Fanny, will pull into the neighborhood, break a stage out, speakers and microphone, and we would rap in the neighborhood. And after we rap and sing and do what everybody's doing, she would say, "Who got talent?" And then kids would come on stage and do it. If they were good, she would add them to the group.
That's dope.
That's how I first met 702. Ooh. 702 was called Sweeter Than Sugar at first.
Hey, we need to bring that back. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bring that
so that
back.
was that. So to me, Miss Fanny don't get the honor she deserves.
Shout out for that, man.
You know what I mean? Because she honed my shout out.
We gotta bring that back.
Yeah, because she honed my skills.
Yeah.
That's why I'm an entertainer, because I've been performing. When you gotta go in the jets and rap, when you pulling up on Down Street rapping, I'm from the States, and from out there, I'm pulling different neighborhoods and rapping. Yeah. And kids start clapping, you sign autographs when you young, man, that's dope. And that's what she was doing.
For sure.
So that's where Neo comes from, for those who don't know.
For sure. The betas. So
it was dope because that was a turning point in my life. Because so like I said, I'm from the States. You know what I mean? My brother was NTG all day. One of the first NTGs when they started that from the States. The States was State Boys at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And used to break dance. And I was the only little kid that would be in the State Boys going to skating rings. If they were losing against the other breakdance group, I would come to my brother's leg, pop lock. You know?
1982 was the summer sea. That's when he started rapping. Before it was the fashion, the neighborhood named him Prop, cause he was proper. They called me Lil Prop or Lil Helicopter, cause I used to break dance, cause he used to do it. I was me, yeah, and he was my influence.
Saying, you feel me? That's what I was doing, you know what I mean? So the State Boys went from State Boys and then turned to NTG.
Yeah.
Northtown Gangsters, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I've always been, you know, gang influenced, but when the state started getting, you know, to another level, you know, mom and pop's like, you know what, let's try to move out, because they already saw my brother was already going, you know what I mean? So they was trying to save me. In reality, now me being an adult with kids, I understand what they was trying to do.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was mad because there wasn't no internet back then. Back in the 80s, if you moved, you lost your friends.
Man, right.
In the 80s, when you move, you don't see your friends no more
right.
if you move from that neighborhood.
That was over with.
You feel me? So, Bone, Gunsmoke, those were my best friends. When we moved, I didn't see them till damn near 10 years later. So, when we moved to a neighborhood off of Pecos and Gowan, right?
Okay.
So you got the hood over here.
Pecos and Gowan.
Yeah. So a lot of us in that neighborhood right there came from other Northtown neighborhoods.
Right.
So wasn't nobody bound down to nobody else's neighborhood. So we said, you know what? We mob town. We mob together. Because JB's and them came from ABM. Jason White and them came from Diana Street. I came from the States. Santo and them came 60s. So the
White
whole
Street was over there, and Diana Street was over.
and Diana Street. You know, so in White Street was starting to pop. So we was, you know, I was in the mix of that. So long story short, life started getting real. You know what I mean? I was involved in things I shouldn't have been at a young age. And when I was at a high school dance. Shout out to T-Rone. So I always give people the props. T-Rone, I'm at a high school dance. I'm sorry, rewind that.
Go ahead.
I went to a teenage party. It was at a church. It was either that church in the Heights or in the States. I can't remember which church it was at. But it was a church. And I heard all the girls saying, "Go T-Rone, go T-Rone." I said, "What the hell is that?" let me tell you something about gangsters, the heart of gangsters. A lot of gangsters is on some hating stuff off top. When you gangbanging, you gotta be hating to a point. If you gangbanging, you gotta hate something. You gotta hate the other. So
you hate color, you hate something.
So I'm hearing a girl say, "Go T-Rone." So I'm like, what they talking about? So I go to the crowd. I see T-Rone. So I ain't gonna lie. First thing I did was, before I became a man, I was a young man. I was still young. I'm 8th grade. I was like, "Oh, what's that? That's girly." You know what I mean? But it was dope though. You feel me? It was dope though. It was dope though.
Oh me.
And I saw other girls go T-Rone. I'm like, damn, that's kind of, and I always been a dancer. I said that's pop lock. So I'm like, what's that? It's like, oh, he a beta. Like, for real? Oh, he the man. I'm like, for real? Right? Then I heard about him knocking somebody out right after that. I'm like, you knocked somebody out? Wow. This is a true story. It's like, yeah, T-Rone got into it with somebody who was in the cavalry, whatever, ran, jumped over the fence, and knocked somebody out and got back in his car and left. I said, okay, I want to be involved with that. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna change my life, I can't go drastic. Cause I went from doing, you know, stupid stuff. Yeah. So I want to be involved with something to where I kind of have a relationship. Yeah, you know what I mean. So when I became a beta, it was like 12 of us who became betas, who were all at bridges in our life to where either we gonna super go this way, or go that way.
Y'all changed the face of betas here, though.
And it changed everything. You know what I mean? And it changed it. Like I tell you, once you start doing stuff positive, it's hard to do negative stuff. So once I became a beta and we on the west side painting houses, you know what I mean? We're in Northtown helping elderly people. Man, it makes you feel like, man, this is what life is about. That's what changed my life. That's why I'm a Sigma now. I became a Sigma to help out betas because it changed my life. You know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't be here right now because I'm a type of person. My personality, I'm an alpha male. And I try to do it the best, whatever I try to do. Not competing against somebody else, but competing against myself. Once you compete against any man, you already lost because I ain't your God. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I try to do the best I can be. And if it was gangbanging, I would try to be the hardest gangbanger. If it was this, I'll be. So by me changing my life, I knew it changed my life for me to be right here. You know what I mean? So that's why, another reason I came here to say certain things. Because, you know, Vegas artists got to hear some general.
No, they need to. They need to understand. That's why it's important for you to be here. One thing we get on these artists a lot about is you have to start to understand the business.
Marketing yourself.
The business side of it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to rap. But if you don't know the business, it don't matter.
Yep.
how good of a rapper you are, how good of a music you make. None of that matters if you don't learn the business.
Facts.
Right?
Oh, there's one more thing, right?
Go ahead.
Let these young artists know how you took advantage of being in Las Vegas.
Oh man.
Because if we in Vegas, the entertainment capital, and you embrace that, like you throwing parties.
You was an
throwing
entertainer.
parties. Yeah. Like it's people in Vegas and they not even entertainers.
Right.
And it's the entertainment capital. That's why it be so weird to me when people can't market themselves. So we here.
This, I'm glad you said that. Excuse me. This how I feel, and I've been saying this. We are in the entertainment capital of the world. So if you're an entertainer and you're good, you're one of the best entertainers in the world. So that's how I look at it. So if I'm rapping or I'm dancing or I'm promoting and I'm in Vegas doing it at a high level, oh yeah, I'm one of the best in the world. Because this is the epicenter of entertainment.
Right.
So that goes to another thing I was going to bring up too. Knowing your worth being in Vegas. We got to stop coattailing, man. Man, I'm from Vegas, bro. I don't care how big you are from the city you're from when you come out here and now you're a rapper, you're a singer. I'm not on your coattails like, hey, I'm with him. No, I mean, you in Vegas, you with me.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
You with me.
Facts.
You came here for a reason.
Yeah.
It's way more people from your city in our city than it is from our city from your city.
In fact, it's a reason for
So that's the proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
I ain't never been to no city in my life and saw 10 cats from Vegas. Ever, unless we went there to kick it.
Yeah, for real, we like it.
Right.
Hey, we like it here.
And
man.
Vegas be small like that. Like you go out when you do go out of town. Like when we just went to Miami, you run across somebody that's from Vegas. Like like hey,
But y'all visited.
Yeah, we visited.
What I'm saying is, from other cities, you can come out here and meet 2,000 people from where you're from.
Yeah, for
So
real.
apparently that means this is the place to be.
Just facts.
So with that being said, act like it. Know that, man. I'm from Vegas, man. Because guess what? When we go anywhere else, they're like, "Where you from?" I'm Vegas. Oh, you from Vegas?
Yeah, they light up.
Oh man, it's quick. You know, cats ain't getting no. If you in a strip club spending 20 bands, you're not getting no love. But if you from Vegas, you ain't spending no money. Oh, you from Vegas? I'll be there next week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you from Vegas? So when you know that, why would you come back to the city and then lame out?
Half step.
Half step.
What?
When it's all right here, when you got all these billions on the strip. You got all these billions on the strip.
Yeah.
And another thing about local artists and local people in general, you know, I'm a true local. But like I say this, don't get mad when other people come out here taking advantage of what we got. That's your bad.
Facts.
So a cat from, I don't care where you're from, Hawaii, Chicago, Dallas, you come out here and you do them thing, hey, do what you're supposed to do. Because this is the last big city where it's space left and the space is running out.
For real.
This is the last big city where it's space left to do something new.
It's about to be some major changes. You can feel it.
It's coming right now. I did a post about 5 years ago when we was rumors about the Raiders coming. I made a Las Vegas Raiders jersey 5 years ago, right? I went on a cruise ship that NFL cruise in California. People was mad at me. A Las Vegas Raiders, yeah, that's where it is. I'm from Vegas. That's what's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that being said, now they're here. Guess what? Housing is going up.
Everything.
You know what I mean? It's cool to have your jewelry. I love jewelry. You know what I mean? Right. I love jewelry because I know the basis of it. I know we come from kings and queens.
Right.
That's where we come from. That come from our homeland. Gold and diamonds came from our turf. So I'll never shame nobody from their jewelry. I still got a lot of jewelry. You know what I mean? But you got to own a house.
Yeah, you got to get some property.
You got to get some property. If you play Monopoly, how do you win?
On the property.
You'll never win without having what?
Property. Yeah.
So in life, you know what I mean? If you have some property, now you can pull the equity out and then pay for your album to be on World Star. So you gotta learn how to take the money from your house and put it towards your rapping.
Your career.
If you're gonna do that, because you're gonna pay to be somewhere.
Facts.
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 So you might as well pay yourself. When you own your house, when you have the mortgage in your name, you're paying yourself. When you pay that mortgage, it's going to you.
Right. Yeah.
So why pay somebody else?
And you
that's another conversation. But
this is what needs to be said.
Definitely.
So one thing I know about you is you've always carried yourself professional.
Appreciate that.
You've always been professional
and positive
and positive, right? So when you came into your shop, I don't care if you was the biggest gangster in the world. You know, I was a knucklehead.
Oh yeah.
But when I walk in the shop, I know I can't cuss it here. You know, Twixx just ain't having it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you always carried yourself professional with everything that you did. And you always, for the most part, succeeded. I don't
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I know we all take our
L's. We gotta have losses.
But for the most part, you succeeded. how can you explain to the upcoming artists, the youth? I'm not gonna even speak on the ones that's already of age. I'm gonna speak on the youth, the ones that's 14, 15, 16. You know, the before 25. How important being professional is.
Yeah, for real.
Being professional is so important that you might be blocking your blessings right now, not being professional. You know how many people try to come to me with a business venture or opportunity, and they're coming to me totally unprofessional. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, man. Email me. I can't be a part of that,
Right.
because I already know where your mindset is.
Yeah.
And you're coming to me down talking or down playing the other person you try to do business with, and now you're saying you want to do it with me. That person could have been bad, but I should know that. See, everybody shouldn't be privy to the information that happened bad in your life.
Talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? That's between you and that bad experience. Don't come to me like, hey, Twixx, man, I want to do an event with you, man, because I was doing with DJ blah, 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 man, and this cat. That's not turning me on the actual business aspect.
Nah.
Because all I know is you badmouth somebody else. I know I'm going to be good business, but at the same token, I want to have my energy set like that. I work hard in my life to put myself in position to where I don't have to be around anybody I don't want to be around. So if I'm around you, I'm 100% wanting to be around you. So why would I allow somebody who is unprofessional to be around me? And that's how professional people think.
Right.
You know what I mean? And people with way more clout, way more money, way more power than little old me are thinking.
Right.
So that's how you want to be. The big reason I have cursing in my barbershop is because I try to be a historian, right? And I know the story of like Hilton, the brand Hilton hotels. Yeah. He started off with owning a house and renting his rooms out. That's how he started, right? So before that, he was just all Hilton with the house, right? Now it's Hilton. That's equity in your name. At the end of the day, my whole thing is to put equity in the Taylor name.
Right.
So with that being said, if I know I want to be to a certain position in life, right? I'm treating this barbershop like Walmart. You will never hear the Walmart, well, you shouldn't hear Walmart employees cussing crazy. When they are, you're like, this is bad business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're in a place of business. You don't go to Chase Bank and see the people that tell us like, man, I told this man.
Yeah.
So why am I going to do it?
And that energy in that bank, in that barbershop.
Right. And with that, I go to the barbershop, anything goes down. People get killed at the barbershop. There's been a lot of shootings at barbershops. And a lot of barbershops that do have that, right? And I'm not talking about, I know I'm cool with everybody, but it happens.
Yeah.
They do.
A lot of time, the tone is already set like that. So if you come to my barbershop and I'm playing some neo soul or songs without cursing, and you're cursing, and you hear I got the radio edit, I'm like, hey man, can you please not curse? You're like, oh my bad, I got you. Because you see that I'm taking pride in not doing that in front of these kids and women and stuff like that. So it puts you in a different mindset. So now you're not here talking about how you shot somebody yesterday.
Yeah, 100.
Right.
100.
Do you see what I'm
It's like
saying?
a kid going to school. You might not never listen to your parents, but when some kids go to school, they listen to the teacher because the setting. You know what I mean? The foundation.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
And once you get that line of respect, like it just works better. You know what I'm saying? Like me and bro with starting this and all, it's like I take a lot from you and Nardo. I tell Nardo all the time, like I take a lot from y'all. A lot that y'all have
Nardo,
showed me or whatever.
Nardo.
Yeah, man.
Nardo is a sponge. I call him Nardo. Nardo is not to cut you off, but I gotta say this.
He is.
He's so dope because he's one of the few who paid attention. He'll tell you. He's like, whatever you did, Twixx, I pay attention to it. Okay, I did that. And then he does it. And could even do it better. That's the thing. People supposed to end up better than you. And when I was young, I saw old school player haters. Old school player haters be like, oh, I see you got your, they'll say little. Little be the hating word.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see you got your little radio show. I see you got your little podcast. I see what you're doing. You know what I'm talking about? I see you, man, keep it going. You know what I'm talking about? That's an old school player. Why you calling it little?
Yeah.
You're an old school player hater because you don't want them to get surpass you in your so-called clout. But if you're a real boss, if you're a real G, you're not a boss until you help somebody else boss.
He preaching.
Right.
You're not a boss until you like for instance, I got you. I'll bring it down the player way. If you was at the club and you pulled the finest woman in the club, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Got the finest one. But if you at the club and you put the finest one in the club on your man, you on another level.
Facts.
Right.
And that's how I think of things.
Facts.
How can I put my people on?
Facts.
Right.
Because doing it by yourself, that's easy. Man, can you do it for somebody else?
Facts.
And if we all think that way, it'd be progression.
For sure.
And that's that's why I say all that stuff is so important, because me watching you and Nardo, that was major for me. But one thing that I noticed, and one thing me and bro try to do is, like stop some of the hood politics. So we'll have somebody on the couch from Donna, from wherever. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where you from. You can come here, you can sit down with us. And the respect level is going to be there. Same as I seen walking into all these barbershops.
Right.
It might be a blood waiting, and it might be a Crip waiting, and they might be from two separate sections.
Yep.
And they might really have fun.
Right.
But because of the respect for Twixx, we're not bringing that in here.
Right.
As soon as I walk through the door, I got to show love and respect to a man that I respect.
Right. And to get respect, you got to give it.
Yeah, the standards already set.
You know what I mean? So it comes to respect. We had two cats. Bart was cutting the cat's hair. Bart was right next to me. Shout out to Jason Hines. Bart. Right next to me. Man. I'm cutting the cat, right? I'm hearing the conversation, but I'm not thinking it's serious. I'm cutting it, I'm listening to music, whatnot. And long story short, they wanted to kill each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they doing this weird conversation. I'm like, it's kind of weird. I'm like, everything cool? He said, nah, man. Dude said, oh, this is what happened. One of the dudes said, my guy said to Bart's guy, hey, man, I heard when you saw me, that was going to happen. And he's like, yeah, it was going to happen. He said, but you saw me, what happened? And he's like, you had your kid with you. He's like, oh, okay. He said, that's why it didn't happen. He said, okay. So Bart's client got up first and then tapped him on the leg. Was like, be safe out there. He walked out, right?
That mean I'm about to kill you.
That means I'm about to kill you. That means in the hood term, be safe out there. So the one I was cutting, right? I said, man, what's that about? Because it was weird. He's like, man, yeah, man, if I see him first, I'm gonna get him. He said, man, Twixx, man, we respect you, bro. He said, but if I catch him out this shop, but he gave him a pass though. Because he said, I thought you said that. He said, you got your kid with you. That's how I knew it was real.
Yeah.
You got your kid with you, but I'm gonna see you. But that's a respect for the barbershop because they respect us. Right. That's why I tell these politicians, man, like if you want to reach the black man, go to the barbershop. It's more black men in the barbershop than the church.
For real.
Facts.
For real.
How did you get into that?
Politics?
Since we here.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's something
and congrats on that too, man.
It's
good for like these younger people to see that, because we grew up, we didn't see none of that.
That's why I'm running.
We seen Hen, he was running, man.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I love to see that because he did so much for us with the dog catching and everything. And
Shout
for you to be doing that, you know what I mean? That's dope for the younger generations to see that.
So they're referring to me running for mayor of North Las Vegas, the city of North Las Vegas.
Shout out to the North.
Yep.
Yes,
I
want to throw those signs right now.
But the reason I'm doing that is because it's a void. You know what I mean? It's a void in North Las Vegas that nobody cares about or looks into. Growing up, I went to J.D. Smith, St. Christopher, Cheyenne, Northtown my entire life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not one time, not one politician came to our schools to talk to us. You know what I mean? We had one come C.C. Cox. Now it's Frank Hawkins, but he wasn't a North Las Vegas politician.
Yeah.
Nobody from North Las Vegas ever came to talk to us. There's no so-called certain person in North Las Vegas who's the positive person. People always put a negative connotation to the North, right? Even when they try to do it to the West, the difference is you have a lot of politicians on the West. Right. You got politicians from North Las Vegas who moved to the West Side and run for positions. But you're from the North, bro.
This is true.
And that's a problem. North Las Vegas is its own city. When you're in Las Vegas, all the neighborhood signs are green. When you reach North Las Vegas, all the neighborhood signs are blue. When you're in Henderson, they are brown. Most people don't even know that.
For real.
And North Las Vegas has its own mayor. People don't even know his name. Because what is he doing for anybody?
Yeah, I don't know his name for sure.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's crazy. How you don't know his name? There's 230,000 people in the city of North Las Vegas and nobody know his name?
That's for real. He Batman.
Right now, we're in a historical neighborhood. You got signs. There's not one historical neighborhood in North Las Vegas. Why is that? Do you see what I'm saying? Because nobody cares. So you've got to ask somebody from North Las Vegas who really cares about the city of North Las Vegas.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know people give it that connotation because it's black and Hispanics are a high number, and we just let people do us how whatever. But it stops today. You know what I mean? It stops today.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And it's for all people in North Las Vegas, period. It ain't just me being black. I want to make sure black and white kids learn Spanish because it's job opportunities. We're on the West Coast. Man, yeah, I cheated in junior high school, so I don't know Spanish. I should have paid attention to it, but I want my kids to know Spanish. It's very important. That's from having a job and owning a job.
True.
If you know Spanish, it puts you in a better communication to where you open up a whole field to communicate with people you can communicate with.
That's facts.
Right.
Northtown is 33% Hispanic. So how we're not pushing learning Spanish? And that gives them even more pride versus trying to shun them. Oh, you can't speak English? No, we can speak Spanish too.
Yeah, for real.
We're doing this together
We
to
being
change,
lazy.
right? To change,
lazy,
trying to be lazy, to change the demographic of what's going on in the city of North Las Vegas. I don't see none of the politicians. Pamela Goins Brown, I've seen her. I give her a shout out, but nobody else I
That's
see.
love that you giving them shout out.
Yeah,
You
for real.
actually
Yeah, I'm say it. You know what I mean? Pamela Goins Brown called me up and was like, "Hey, you need a mask for your shop." You know, that was dope.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So I give her that. But I don't see them. I don't see them nowhere in North Las Vegas doing nothing. I've spoken at every high school except Rancho because I wait for an invite to speak at Rancho. But I spoke at every high school. I've never turned any school down. Here I just did Matt Kelly again. You know what I mean? It's not just Northtown. I'm everywhere to speak.
Yeah.
Because I need people to see a black man speak to children about how he went through this, went through that, and changed his life. And now as an entrepreneur and giving people jobs and opportunities. Half my barbers are felons. And not one has been back to prison since they've been a barber. That's unheard of.
Facts. Yeah, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah,
like that's reality
prison
though.
high.
Not
Return
one.
rate
Yeah, it's like
prison
what 75%.
Me, you coming back?
And not one has been back to prison. So you know what that shows you? That shows you that when a man or woman has an opportunity to get a
Stability,
career
yeah.
and take care of their family legitly, they're not going back.
Yeah.
And what does that show you? That shows you there's not enough opportunity for us to have. So once you have more opportunity, it changes our life. You know what I mean? Your attitude determines your altitude. You feel me?
And
So
you always stood on your word. I think that's major when you think, because I never wanted to get into even helping a politician because I'm like, I don't know one that stands on what they talk about. Because I know you have always stood on your word.
right.
I remember coming home from prison,
Mm-hmm.
working with Nardo. We started the car wash thing. I'm
Yes.
doing that with Nardo. I remember coming to Exclusive at night, and you like, hey man, it's open. You know what I'm saying? If they want to let y'all watch their car, you can watch. We was watching.
Didn't I tell you that? Did I say I want to cut? Did I say I want to cut? Like do I?
No, you didn't ask for $1.
I didn't even ask for a free car wash. Because why?
For real.
Because why? I just posted something on Facebook, right? The young man helped me do my life insurance, right? I've had it 15 years. It lapsed. He got me back on track, so I posted it, right? A young lady hit me up in my DM, and she was like, "Hey, do you do a partnership with him?" I'm like, "No, I just posted it." She's like, "You know, if you do a partnership, you can get paid a percentage." I'm like, "I'm good. I'm not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because he's a good person. He set me right. Everything though. Sometimes don't y'all worry about the buck so much. Worry about the smiles. Like I said, you'll make money. You'll make money. You know what I'm saying? Just do right by people. It's gonna come back to you.
Everybody be so focused on that dollar amount. That dollar.
That instant gratification, really.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
sometimes you'll make more money doing something free than charging.
Oh yeah. True.
When I got my barber's license, I had so many neighborhood clients I did, but when I got in the barbershop, I realized I didn't have clients like that, right? Nobody was coming to my chair testing me out. So I did Twixx haircuts free, first one on me.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was good. I'm not doing that anyway. Most barbers will never do that. But I knew I get this one free, you'll come back. Now it's residual. You know what I mean? I make smiles, I'll make money.
Yeah.
That goes with your music. You know what I mean? Give your album away for free sometimes, or send it for free. Put it on SoundCloud. Give people a shout out. It don't cost you nothing for that.
And shout out to the barbershops in the city, period, man. Because they do so much for the communities.
True.
Yeah, back to school haircuts, man, you know what I'm saying? My barber, he like my therapist. Man. That's what it is. I go through women and all kind of shit. I don't change barbers.
I like that. That could be a t-shirt.
Niggas not changing
T-shirt
barbers.
right there.
I'm gonna need my 10% if you make it.
right. Man, that's real.
No, for real though, y'all, they do a lot, man. I remember when I was young playing sports, I'd come in, they'd be like, how you can do it today in baseball? You be young, you be like, I did good. You be hype, you know what I mean? Talking to the adults. When you're younger, you always told like, go in the corner, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when you in that barbershop, it ain't no going.
It changed everything. And that's another reason why in my shops, I try to keep professionalism going on. Because my father used to drop me off back in the day to barbershop at 11 a.m. Give me $2. to play the pinball machine, right? Excuse me.
Old school.
He would come back at like 4 p.m. to pick me up. The whole time I'm in there, the barber's talking, the craziest talk ever.
Oh man,
I'm talking about, and I'm cool with crazy talk, but the language they was using, me being like 6 years old, I knew that wasn't right.
Right.
I'm like, that's not responsible.
Yeah.
As me being 6, I'm like, they shouldn't talk like this around me.
No, straight.
True indeed, my dad shouldn't drop me off about 5 hours either. But those are things that I'm like, you know what? If I ever become a barber, I'm not doing this. I just knew that wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be you. This is not being fake. It's knowing to be the best you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I curse a lot, but if you wind this tape, I ain't cursed not one time. Only because I know, one,
It's a time.
it's a time and a place. I don't have to right now. You know what I mean? They could use that footage of me saying, "Oh, I told this mother, you want him for your mayor? I told this mother," and they'll keep playing. Man, I know how it works, man. This is chess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you rewind me back, you'll see me doing for the community. When people say, "Hey, Twixx, man, you running for mayor, man, you scared?" They might go back. I say, go back as far as they want to. They'll show I was doing for the community back then.
Nah, for real.
They gonna show 20 years ago doing this for the homeless and the helpless, doing this for people.
Over 20
Let them
years.
go back.
Over
And I
20
guarantee you
years.
can't no politician in the city of North Las Vegas, and I'm gonna say this on the record. There's no politician in North Las Vegas who will run against me who has done for and with the community as I've done.
Already.
And I want to do a head-to-head conversation piece and all kind of stuff. And now by me mentioning there's not a historical neighborhood in North Las Vegas, watch them try to do one right now.
Oh yeah.
Watch them try to do one right
They
now.
gonna definitely
Watch them realize, oh, it's blue street plates now. People don't realize that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. So, with everything you coming here, man, with all the game you brought us and everything, and telling people how important these radio stations and pushing your music is.
Yes.
What do you have for the artists to help them on? Because even if we are saying push to get your music on the radio, you still have to have a certain level of professionalism, a certain level of making sure all your stuff is right.
Yes.
Legally.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't push like, hey, put my song on the radio, and you just recorded it at your friend's house 2
True.
days ago, but you ain't got nothing
Nothing
legit
else.
about you.
Right. You don't have your ass cap or you know what I mean, BMI done. You have to do your due diligence. You have to get legit, because if you want say if you do get on the radio and you're not with BMI ass cap, the plays won't get counted. You know what I mean? So what does that even mean? Back in the day, you got to get played like 350 times a year, which is almost every day, to get a deal. You got to have that, 10,000 followers, or sell 70,000 and have proof you sold 70,000 for a label to deal with you. You know what I mean? So if you do get on a radio station, you don't have any of that, it's not getting counted. So you can't even prove you was played. So that's how you play yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, make sure your penmanship is right. Things are easy now. We got Google.
Yeah, you can look up.
Man, we older. We come encyclopedia days.
Oh, B.
No.
That was our life. If it wasn't encyclopedia, we didn't know.
Man.
No, for real.
Go look it
And
up.
most people didn't have encyclopedia.
Me. My grandma used to be like, go look it up.
Go look it up. So it's information out there. Get your stuff together, and then if you have a manager, make sure your manager. This is something I took okay. So after barber school, I went to college, took college courses, right? Some I learned in my college course, the business of music, that everybody should utilize. I utilize this in life in general. My professor told us this. He said, if you're going to be a manager or an artist, he said, do a year, right, on a scale. Every 3 months, have a goal that needs to happen. So that means you got 4 major goals that year. In between, you got smaller goals, but so let's say you sign in January, right? You sign a Twixx Entertainment in January, right? January, February, March, April. In April, our goal is to have you at least performed 10 times. By this month now, your CD should be done, and by this month, you should have this many sold, right? What that does is that keeps you and the artist on point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a relationship. If you with a woman and y'all have no goal, y'all just playing around.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Until she meet another man with a goal, and then she gone. Because all women want a man who could lead.
Facts.
Being cool and last so long.
Facts.
You know what I'm talking about?
Talk to him. Shit. Let
So-
me hear it.
Wow. He also.
Yeah. So that don't last so long. So with that being said, as an artist, you know what I mean? If you're gonna be with a management, okay, tell the manager, hey, listen, man, what's are your projections, man? And we both sign that. So I know I have to be on my due diligence, and you have to be on yours. And at the end of the year, if we completed all these things, then we get signed for another year.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Why do you think we don't got no managers and nothing out here like that? Like it's like I don't know. It's like people
small
think that they
number,
don't
man.
need one.
So these days, technically, you don't need one if you can handle everything. But here's one thing: if you don't know how to talk, as in you don't know the proper language of how to communicate, you need a manager. Because some people will talk themselves out of a deal.
For real.
You know, and you might have a wrong man. I know a story where the manager messed the deal up with a major label because the manager kept talking. You know what I mean? So it's all depends on having the right person to represent you. And like I said, you can't do it by yourself. But me personally, if someone is working hard for me and they're giving me show stuff I couldn't get, I have no problem give you 20%.
Yeah, for real.
I have no problem because you're making 100% of something I wasn't doing.
Right.
So now I can focus on me recording.
Yeah, that's why I tell them. Artists need to just be artists sometimes.
You know?
need that line within entertainment. Period. I think it's important for us to have that structure of that line. The management, the promoters,
Right.
everybody has to be on the same accord.
True.
For it to work, radio stations, everybody has to be on the same
Yes,
accord.
that's the ebb and flow of it.
Everybody has to be on the same accord because, like when I know when we was recording, when we was trying to do shows and stuff, the promoters were so trash to me because it's like we're paying you, we're getting on stage,
Right.
behind 40 people.
Right.
By the time we get on stage, nobody is here no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything about it,
and that's not cool.
Trash.
Yeah, when you do a show, if you're doing a show with independent or local artists, you gotta do it. Listen, man, y'all performing first, but for y'all to perform, y'all gotta stay to the end. You know what I mean? Like every show, man. Listen, I know a lot of people watching y'all shows. It's gonna be somebody like, oh yeah, you're right. When people perform, if I never heard a song in my life, I'll go by the front of the stage and do this with them. I'm gonna rock with
I
you
was the same
because
way.
it don't cost you nothing to do that. It don't cost you nothing to show love. So why don't you?
It costs nothing to share. It costs nothing to subscribe.
It costs nothing to do none of that.
Free 99.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody's so caught. People so caught up in trying to be the one. That's corny. One happens organically.
For real.
Can nobody be the king of Vegas? That's the corniest thing. Ain't no king of Vegas. Period. You know why? Because it's a trillionaire right now spending whatever you and your mama ever made right now on one rip.
On me.
So ain't nobody the king of Vegas.
At the table.
At the table, literally, right now.
You have to lie.
Right now. So with that being said, you know that whole, oh, we the best in Vegas. What does that even mean?
Nothing.
If nobody's on. No disrespect to New Mexico. But let's say somebody told us, I'm the best rapper in New Mexico. We wouldn't give a damn about that. We're like, all right, what does that mean?
Yeah, for real.
That's how we sound like.
For real.
I'm the hottest in Vegas. What does that mean? What does that mean? Nah, man, take it seriously and be the hottest, period. 'Cause like I said, this is entertainment capital of the world. So you're the best in the world.
Right.
Not just Vegas,
Fact.
because you
That's how
are
you gotta
in
carry
Vegas.
yourself.
You are the best in the world.
Man, facts.
Facts, man.
Listen,
For
I'm
sure,
glad
man.
you came out.
Me too, man. You definitely dropped some gems, man.
I appreciate y'all, man.
We needed this. They needed this.
Let them know how to reach you too. I don't think you
Yeah,
said.
we ain't even get into that.
Okay, I told you I'll be talking. I done brought Cliff Notes. I'll be talking. So you can reach me on Instagram under Vegas Twixx. That's with 2 X's. Vegas Twixx 2 X's. You could go to my mayor page on Instagram under Robert Taylor for NLV Mayor. I show everything I do on there when it comes to community and whatnot and future events. On Facebook under Robert Twixx Taylor. I'm at Fatal Mall Barbershop franchise. You can catch me at the one that I'm at for a few more months before I retire on Sahara. Yep, Sahara in Buffalo.
That time.
I want to give a shout out to y'all first for doing this because this is real Vegas stuff right here.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to all the artists who've been on here, all the artists who came from other cities and who give Vegas their royalties, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's dope.
Right.
To the BDK, to my frat brothers, 586 Incorporated, you know what I mean? The BDK, big part of my life, and you know, my whole rap situation came from the BDK, you know what I mean? So
You started that, right?
I didn't.
Who started it?
Okay, Mario McKeever, DBs, Sean Long,
DB.
and Lamar. They started. It started off as a joke. I can't say what it's still for back then.
Okay.
And then it ended up getting more serious, and then turned to an entertainment thing. We ended up being 81 of us.
Okay.
There's 81 men in a group from
Damn.
everywhere, from West Side, North Town, East Side, St. Louis, New York, who all had a goal of, you know, making money and making things happen.
Y'all had Sir Drew Price.
Yep.
Y'all have had.
Yep, Weeze Mac, you know what I mean?
Weeze Mac.
Mosey T, you know,
Right.
DJ Slim, Speak Low, you know. And we were big with, here's the thing, if we know in the club, say like it's 81 of us, right? But at any moment it'd be 30 of us in the club, right? Instead of being intimidating, we were inviting. See, to me, that's what makes you a real man and a real boss. When you try to intimidate people, that's so corny.
Fact.
Like, no, I mean, we here. I mean, what's up? Wait, hey, man. Hey, give my man a drink. What's good? Do the BDK. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to be. Then people mess with you.
Yeah.
Then people function with you.
Facts, man.
Right. You know what I mean? You know, so.
Yeah, man.
I hope some game came out.
Oh,
we
man,
gotta do a part. We gotta do a part 2 and part 3. I told you I get low winded. You feel me?
No, listen. What's
We'll do one
crazy
every
is we was going. Yeah, me and bro had plans on doing all type of stuff with you, right? As far as breaking down the whole thing. So we appreciate you for coming through.
Oh, good,
you know, this was major.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I was shocked when you even hit me. I knew you had so much going on. So when you hit me, like, hey, I have to.
Yeah, I had to do this.
Break this down.
Very
man.
important, man. It's very important for the DJs to, get behind this. If you're a DJ at a radio station, you see this, man. Just know, man, we need you to speak up. Yeah. Like I'm at a station and I'm speaking up, but I don't get to say so much because at the end of the day, them knowing I used to be an artist and I made a couple songs just for having fun, I don't want them to think, oh, it's for my music.
Yeah, you trying to boost.
Yeah, you're trying to boost my music. Nah, man, it needs to be local artists, period. Music on there. Misfit, you know what I mean? It needs to be local artist music on there.
And
period.
That's what they need to hear, man. Shout out to before we get about shout out to DJ Do Wrong.
He won for
one
sure.
of our DJs that's been doing this thing. One of our partners is a DJ that's been doing this thing, been putting on for Vegas music.
He been going
I got some things going on with DJ Do Wrong coming soon. With Code 7 as a whole, dude. So, shout out to that. Shout out to you for coming on. For y'all, letting y'all know. Although me and bro talk about this a lot, this was Twixx trying to let y'all know something.
Yeah, man.
Y'all about to get hit up.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
We talk about this a lot.
This
is showing y'all how much it matters, and man. Because people is reaching out to let y'all know that y'all need to hear this.
Right.
So
and work together, people.
Man.
Work together, people.
Work together.
For real. Collab.
And they starting to.
Yeah, they is.
People are starting to, man. And
you know something that we used to do as a BDK that was real dope for us, and it ended up getting us, you could say, a dope following before we hit the clubs, is a lot of us rap. What we would do is at the house, we'd invite a lot of women over, you know what I mean, have drinks, pizza, whatnot, and we would rap our songs. Then after we rap our song, we would stop the music and they would say what we rapped, like a poet, like a poem, so they could hear the words we're saying.
Okay.
And they're like, damn, because we was all about saying certain things and metaphors and being on point, right? And then it makes everybody intrigued, like, oh damn, these cats are spitting. Yeah. So now when we say we got a show, we've been doing this for months, having people come to the house in an intimate setting. So now when we do a show, they all know our music.
Right. And vibing different to it.
They all vibing different to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? They want to know because they seen you rap without the beat. And you break down what you say, like, oh, that's tight. And they can't wait to show that they know it. Like I said, when we came to the club, they couldn't wait to show they knew our songs.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's what comes to it. That's how you got to do it, man. Like, start doing stuff at the crib, get a hotel room, get a suite. Instead of getting a suite, just throwing parties, do a listening party, real listening parties.
Yeah, it was some of the baddest women in the world. Listen, I'm not talking about just some ratchet on the... Man, look, listen, changed my life.
Oh my God.
I was at the club like, oh my God, what?
Shout out.
She know those words?
Shout out.
Oh my God. Y'all got some real women here, man. Y'all had it jumping. So shout out to that, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also follow Twixx on everything. And this was Probably Talk About Tizzles.
Game for Lames, man. We up out of here.
We up out of here, man.
I go hard for this. How the fuck you winning if you lost to this? Niggas think they own so they get off in this. It's easy to get crossed to this. On TOP, we gon' get far from this. Step up in they town and burn it down like I'm a horse.